Hello and welcome to IU NewsNet Daily. I'm Katherine Patterson.
And I'm Abby Haymond. Today we have reactions to the abortion law hearing in Indianapolis and information on a new type of AI changing education.
And later, Abby previews IU women's basketball's biggest match of the season, as well as a new Hoosiers for Good winter class. IU NewsNet Daily begins now. Now that the U.S. is post-Roe v. Wade, the Indiana Supreme Court is working to decide if abortion is constitutional. Pro-choice advocates showed up at the State House last week during the hearing to voice their opinion. Earlier this week, some were celebrating the reversal of Roe v. Wade with a March for Life through the streets of downtown Indianapolis, including 2 Indiana Republican senators. Pro-life supporters marched on Monday, the day after what would have been Roe v. Wade's 50th anniversary.
Our work as pro-life individuals isn't just the legislation part, but it's walking with people in all stages of life.
Indiana's abortion ban was enacted in September, but it was struck down temporarily a week later by a special judge assigned to a Planned Parenthood lawsuit. And this past week's hearing was the culmination. Reports show more classified documents were taken under the Trump administration. Last week, a lawyer for former Vice President Mike Pence found classified documents in Pence's Carmel, Indiana home. There were reportedly a dozen documents. Pence's legal team subsequently delivered them to the National Archives. Although authorities found President Biden and former President Trump in possession of classified documents, Pence previously said he had none. But Pence did send his counsel to his Carmel home to search his records out of, quote, an abundance of caution. It's unclear how sensitive the discovered documents are. The Bloomington Police Department will be relocated in the upcoming future. City Council members debated early into Wednesday night about the police department and where it would be relocated to, and it was decided to be the Showers Brothers factory building, where the City Hall is located. The new relocation will also include the fire department. This is all in an effort by the mayor to have almost all city officials under one roof. Some city council members were concerned about the lack of research done on the amount of traffic near City Hall that could potentially block first responders from reaching their destinations in an emergency. Maybe you've already heard of something called ChatGPT. It's new, accessible artificial intelligence that can write an essay, and it creates a whole new world for teachers and students. Developed by the company OpenAI, ChatGPT accepts typed prompts and then provides human-like conversational responses. It can answer test questions, and it's even passed the bar exam and medical exam. Its existence makes it increasingly difficult for teachers to figure out what is and isn't cheating. For the time being, they can use anti-plagiarism software, and while ChatGPT produces some convincing work, it's still a work in progress and can give some inaccurate information. COVID numbers are down in Bloomington as of last week, along with influenza and monkeypox numbers. According to the CDC, there were only 30 cases of COVID-19 in the Monroe County area, labeling the county in the low range of case rates. Only 3 Indiana counties are in the high range. Just under 70% of Monroe County's population is vaccinated. Flu numbers have decreased statewide, and monkeypox, now known as Mpox, is down in Indiana. Since January 11th, only 1 case is known in the state. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services will not renew Mpox as a public health emergency at the end of the month. And now turning to sports, we have Abby Haymond to tell us what's going on with Hoosier Athletics.
That's right, Katherine. I have got some info on the men's basketball game last night that Coach Mike Woodson was actually unable to attend. But first, let's start off with the women's team. Indiana women's basketball takes on Ohio State tonight in one of the biggest games of the season. Fighting for the top spot in the Big Ten, both teams have been in the AP Top 25 all season, and both are 8-1 in the conference. 2 key players, Madison Green and J.C. Sheldon, are out for Ohio State, but that clearly has not stopped them so far. The Buckeyes remained undefeated until they lost their first game of the season at home against Iowa on Monday. If that's not a recipe for revenge, last year the Hoosiers defeated Ohio State in both matchups. The Hoosiers are now 18-1, the best start in program history. The atmosphere in Assembly Hall as of late has been outstanding and does not go unnoticed. Terry Morin and the team is encouraging Indiana fans to pack the hall to cheer them on. The 2 teams face off tonight at 8:30 p.m. Last night, Indiana men's basketball snuck past Minnesota 61-57. Mike Woodson was unable to attend the game as he is recovering from COVID. It was a sloppy start from the Hoosiers with many lazy fouls and too many turnovers. The rest of the game wasn't much better, but in the end, they pulled out their 4th straight win. Trace Jackson Davis again led the team with 25 points and 21 rebounds. This is his 5th double-double in the past 6 games. Next up, the Hoosiers will take on Ohio State this weekend. The teams will face off on Saturday in Assembly Hall at 8 p.m. Finally, Hoosiers for Good is an official NIL partner of IU Athletics. The winter class of 2023 was just announced, revealing partnerships with 19 Indiana athletes across 8 different sports. Athletes who are affiliated with the program are paired with one of 11 Indiana-based charities. The selected students agreed to promote their respective charities on social media, as well as making in-person appearances at events. Pictured here are the athletes representing the program from this winter's selections from the Hoosiers for Good Instagram.
And one more thing before we go. We've talked about AI that acts human, but what about cats that act human? A cat owner left her pizza in the microwave and found that her cat Bentley can open it with his own 2 paws. In fact, he can do it in 8 seconds flat. His owner took to TikTok to share the experience, and though Bentley loves to hang out in the microwave, his owner child-proofed it just in case. And just a little reminder to keep an eye on your food and your pets. And that's a wrap for today's IU NewsNet Daily. Tune in for the latest update on all Hoosier news and sports.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at IUNND.
For IU NewsNet Daily, I'm Katherine Patterson.
And I'm Abby Haymond. Thanks for watching, and we will see you all next week.